And then the big political and economic question of the 21st century will be, what do we need humans for? Or at least, what do we need so many humans for?
Do you have an answer in the book?
At present, the best guess we have is keep them happy with drugs and computer games.
And we call this the metaverse.
What you guys do in here?
Pretty much everything that you would do in the real world.
Or at least, what do we need so many humans for?
Would constitute a new useless class. When I say that these are useless humans, it's not from the viewpoint of their mother, of the wife, of the son.
Or at least, what do we need so many humans for?
First, we've got population.
Oh, yeah, interesting. That, of course, is Yuval Harari, Klaus Schwab's right-hand man, and someone that a lot of billionaires and technocrats say is a thought leader, talking about human beings being hackable animals that we need to keep docile with drugs and video games. Nothing to see here, nothing to worry about. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. This is Luke Rudowski here of wearechange.org, and this is the type of lunacy and insanity we're dealing with and going to be documenting in this particular broadcast, as we have some surprising news surrounding Black Lives Matter, New York City, long-range hypersonic missiles, cyber warfare, and of course, the latest Elon Musk news, which we're just going to get right into it. There's so much news to get into, so we're just going to jump right into it, as of course, Elon Musk's investment into Twitter is already paying off a lot, as it is estimated that he has made over $750 million on his Twitter acquisition since the value of the stock he bought went up after the news came out that he is now the largest shareholder of this platform. Some people are saying that he is already making Twitter a better place, with allegedly some people working at Twitter saying that they're going to refuse to, quote, work with or for Elon Musk and that they're resigning. Some Twitter users are saying that they are now terrified of what could potentially happen if we allow free speech on a platform, if there's words that they have to read and see and hear that are not controlled by unaccountable tech oligarchs. Oh, the terror! How horrible would that be? A lot of people working at Twitter are saying that they're happy that, of course, they're making money because of Elon, but dislike him and don't want anything to do with him. Lulu Chang also announced publicly in response to this news that, quote, Substack is hiring if you're a Twitter employee who's considering resigning because you're worried about, quote, Elon Musk pushing for less regulated speech. Please do not come work here. Very well said by Lulu. This, as we also just found out and detailed to you yesterday, that Elon Musk was just appointed to Twitter's board of directors, where, of course, he is vowing to make significant improvements. This news broke when we had the current Twitter CEO, Parag Agrawal, saying officially, quote, through conversations with Elon in recent weeks, it became clear to us that he could bring great value to our board. He's both a passionate believer and intense critic of the service, which is exactly what we need on Twitter and in the boardroom to make us stronger in the long term. Welcome, Eli. Now, a lot of this news was also meant with a lot of people asking Twitter to bring back the Babylon Bee, the former president of the United States, Donald Trump, and of course many other famous political channels on the platform that of course were censored within the last few years for just expressing political speech. Now, what are the exact changes coming to Twitter with Elon Musk on board? Is he going to be able to affect change on such a big company? Well, there's some people even saying right now that he has already done more to advance freedom and free speech in the last 24 hours than the President of the United States has done in the last 50 years. And that, of course, is pretty clear since Joe Biden always wants more government and less freedom. And I think at minimum, if the platform was just transparent about its actions, provided evidence of, quote, wrongdoing to the accused, allowed a path of redemption for banned or suspended accounts, and stopped playing politics with, of course, the huge power that they wield on the world stage, controlling the discourse in the world, that would be a huge advancement of personal liberty, since, of course, it would advance free speech, which is essential to it. You cannot have a free society if you do not have free speech. Right now, I think it's fair to argue, on big tech social media, we don't have any of it. Which is why, again, I started LukeUncensored.com, my own platform where I get to say and do what I want without any fear of retaliation, suspensions, banning. We talk about the news, the latest updates, and the information that could help out the average person the most, with, of course, information centered towards taking action and dealing with the absolute crap storm in front of us. Lots of crap flying all over the place. Uncensored.com, it's like an umbrella against the crap flying down. That's how I see it. We're going to be doing yet another video later on today on the platform. We hope to see you there. Click down on the description below. The link is right there to find out more and sign up right now to Uncensored.com. Hope to see you there later on for our important discussion. And you're better off spending your money with us than, of course, Black Lives Matter, that we recently found out spent $6 million on a house, which they used to buy through donation money, which a lot of people thought was going to go help the average black person. Nope. They bought themselves a swanky Southern California home for $6 million. As of course, the official BLM organization and its figurehead have been on a buying spree of homes and real estate. This upscale home being the latest one that we found out about. We still don't know the full financial transparency of where all of the people's money went towards helping black people, as it probably went to more luxury items that, of course, Black Lives Matter says that they can't account for. These people received tens of millions of dollars, and they're buying themselves mansions with it and having swanky brunches like you're seeing right now in front of your screen, sipping on some fine champagne there, just like most of the politicians out there to promise to help people and really truly only help themselves. Just like this absolute fool of a mayor, Eric Adams, who just extended mask mandates for children under the age of 5 in New York City, making it mandatory, and is taking people's hard-earned tax dollars from New York City, which takes the most amount of money per tax jurisdiction than anywhere else in the United States comparatively to, of course, California, and is using that money to pull up advertisement campaigns, specifically trying to recruit Floridians to come to New York because of a bill that Florida passed that doesn't allow kindergarten teachers to talk about adult topics with children. Yes, this is absolutely ridiculous. And now the mayor is buying advertisements and billboards where allegedly you could come to the city where you can say whatever you want. You could do that here in Florida. You just can't talk about really serious adult topics with kindergartners. You're allowed to do. I'm here in Miami South Beach. Trust me, you could be loud, proud, still allowed to do whatever you want here. And these advertisements are not only just a stupid waste of taxpayer dollars, they're going to be absolutely ineffective. As of course, if you look up New York City right now, there's a horrible video of 2 homeless people doing the unspeakable thing on a public subway system, as of course crime has soared dramatically inside of New York City. And according to Mayor Adams and his advertisement campaign, New York City is alive, and so is free speech. It's not. It's absolutely not. I've been to New York City. I grew up in New York City. It's an absolute fascist crap hole with surveillance cameras watching your every move, and there's laws on the books where you can't even discuss people's haircuts because if it offends them, you get fined hundreds of thousands of dollars. That is not free speech. This is a lunatic politician that has absolutely lost his mind, is attending way too many swanky parties, and in my opinion, from this latest move, has become absolutely delusional. Lived in New York City for a large portion of my life. I'm living now here in Florida. I absolutely love it here. The money I'm saving, the economic prosperity I'm having, the freedom I'm allowed to have here compared to what happened in New York in the last 2 years is absolutely day and night, heaven and hell difference. And hey, that's just my own personal perspective and opinion on the matter. But I think the statistics speak for itself. And this is why the vast majority of people have moved from New York City to Florida within the last 2 years. A lot of those reasons, financial. As of course, we're facing some very big financial difficulties ahead, which we've been warning about for a very long time, as even billionaire Wall Street investor Ray Dalio is specifically warning about soaring inflation under the Biden administration, which according to him will bring America back to the 1970s where, quote, we're going to have a period of stagflation. And I would absolutely agree with him. I would even say that his assessment is underscoring some of the significant disruptions to the global supply chains that we have been seeing that are only going to be made that much worse because of the deliberate actions, not just with sanctions against Russia, with that disruption of global trade, not just with the food disruptions, not just with the prospects of course, our technological infrastructure being weak and vulnerable, but also specifically of the green policies that the Biden administration is going to be pushing forward more aggressively within the next few months as a way to, make you pay more money to the government so the weather gets better. Absolutely ridiculous things are happening within the government. And when you're looking at the price at the supermarket, at the gas station, you could thank big government for creating this exact situation that you are dealing with right now. As it's important to note here, it wasn't the global sickness that created this problem on the world stage. It wasn't coincidental or accidental moves made in the larger financial markets. It was a deliberate disruption and destruction of our current economic system that we are currently going through right now. I believe a lot of this is deliberate. I've talked about this in yesterday's Uncensored.com video, but it's important to note here that Ray Dalio is kind of known as a mainline big money guy, and when he's sending out the warnings, just like Goldman Sachs did, I think it's worth looking at, as of course independent media has been warning you about this for a very long time. Again, we're facing a lot of significant difficulties ahead. Forbes had a very interesting article about this with their article that's titled "The Russian Invasion, Cyber War, and Global Supply Chains." As of course, with the sanctions that have been put on Russia, this is going to disrupt the global financial picture. There's a lot of other turbulence ahead, not just with Russia, but of course also with China threatening American hegemony, something that of course Ray Dalio has been talking about very extensively as well. And his assessment on the situation, I think, is pretty simple, but pretty clear that we are facing the possibility of a major insidious trap that will most likely unfold in some kind of conflict. This as today, the President of the United States, Joe Biden, announced that he is going to be signing a hypersonic missile deal with Australia in order to directly threaten China in the arms race. This as allegedly, according to the Pentagon, China has already developed hypersonic missiles that are far superior than ours, allegedly. Joe Biden also announced the sending of a lot of very significant military hardware to the people of Ukraine, including Switchblade tank drones that work as kamikazes, that have armor-piercing warheads, and are making the situation very difficult for a lot of the Russian soldiers in the battlefield in Ukraine, as also allegedly hackers have stolen 900,000 emails from Russia's largest state-owned media corporation, as of course there have been very significant hacks against the Russian government, the Russian corporations, the people of Russia, as I think it's very fair to say that this larger cyber warfare between the United States and Russia has already begun. The FBI is already warning companies to be ready for a Russian cyber attack, especially on the energy industry, as of course just last year we saw a major disruption to gas all around the United States, specifically because of a hack on a major pipeline here inside of the United States that of course significantly disrupted the economy, people's ability to move around, and with major hacks going against Russia, you could expect Russia to retaliate and of course launch cyber attacks here on the United States. Very interestingly, the World Economic Forum did a drill about this called Cyber Polygon, as if they were preparing for this controversy, this larger problem, as the World Economic Forum was literally working with the Russians and the United States when it came to this larger cyber warfare drill game that they played on the international world stage, essentially preparing for a lot of this to come. Just like they did, with a lot of other things that they magically predicted. Gee, wonder what kind of superpowers they have, or magic 8-ball, since a lot of what these people call for absolutely is being proposed and implemented in many parts of the world. Yuval Harari, Klaus Schwab's right-hand man, literally is talking about pacifying people of the general public with the drugs and video games. Yeah, I'll leave it at that, but that's the current situation that we're dealing with, and of course, the only thing stopping that from happening, stopping Yoel from getting whatever he wants is, of course, you being personally responsible for yourself, being the best version of yourself, which, of course, we're going to be detailing and talking about specifically on LukeUncensored.com. I hope you guys join us there later on for this conversation. If you thought I did an okay job explaining the very crazy, insane news cycle that we are all dealing with, share this video with your friends and family members, random strangers, doesn't matter. Helping spread this message means a lot to me and also helps grow this independent media broadcast, which wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys watching. I appreciate you guys even more for staying till the end of the video. I love you guys. Stay tuned for a lot more here on wearechange.org.